Okie dokie then. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a hot take. Let's give our hot takes from one of the latest trailers to drop this week. And Jimmy, I'm bringing to you Avatar: The Way of Water. Yep.
Oh, that would have been so good if it would have come up there.
I know. I want to get your thoughts on Avatar because
I can have them.
it's one of those films that I swear to God I can't for the life of me remember what the hell happened in it. I've only seen it the once when it came out. You know, it was a bit of a phenomenon at the time, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah, massive. It's huge. It's one of the highest grossing movies of all time, isn't it? Along with Titanic and stuff.
Yeah. So, your thoughts on Avatar, please, before we get into this trailer for the sequel that's coming, I guess, towards the end of the year?
Yes. I saw Avatar in the cinema. It was in 3D.
Yep.
I think it was the first film I had seen in 3D.
Same here. It's a pioneer, wasn't it, really, for that medium?
It worked wonderfully in 3D with all like the floating leaves coming down.
Yeah.
It was a real spectacle. The story I thought was good for what it needed to do. It was amazing, to be honest. The CGI was amazing. The water simulation of when the sort of the avatars and what they called the Nyanis.
I genuinely can't. I don't know.
Nanis,
Navi,
something like
Navi,
that. The Navi. Yeah, when the Navi are going through the water, the beasts, the world building, I think is incredible. I was chatting about my wife about the world building because she said how they've done it at Disney World or Disneyland. They've got their Avatar section, and she was saying how she was really pleased that they've done that, and you can see why they've done it because that world building is fantastic. And I really like the hare to horse sex and the hare to dragon sex and the hare to woman sex. I thought that was great. I really enjoyed it. Now I wouldn't care if it was on, but I'd happily watch it with my kids minus the hare to horse sex. But I'd happily watch it with the kids.
I'm not a fan of the hair-based sexual activity, and as I say that, Benjamin has just arrived, so bear with.
Well, I think while Stu talks to his son, I think we know why Stu is not happy with the hair to horse sex, because Stu is a hairless man.
Yeah.
Well,
Benj.
hair impotent. There he is.
You all right, mate? Have you had a nice time?
Peter Dinklage.
I had a nice time at Connors.
You had a nice time at Connors. Good. Good boy.
Did he have a nice time at mine?
Did you have a nice time at Jimmy's?
Yeah.
Would you like to go again? Yeah, there you go. See? You had a nice time, didn't you? Yeah. He's got his Lego Luigi there. There we go.
Lego Luigi legs.
Did he like Cameron?
Do you like Cameron? Yes. Yes.
Do you?
Yes. Well, I've got his dad there. I can't really say no, can I? There's Amanda. We are recording. Oh my God! God's sake!
I mean, I never saw this happen to Terry Wogan.
I know.
Hoping what I was at Connor's house, he wasn't doing any swearing.
Any swearing? Oh, there's no swearing on this show, is there, Jimmy?
Can he hear me?
No, we're good. Right, Ben, you're gonna love you and leave you, right? That's your weekly appearance on the show done. All right.
I mean,
he's not moving. Not moving at all.
Well, let's show the Avatar.
Right.
We're moving on to we're on Avatar, aren't we?
Yes.
I just gave you my thoughts. I love the hair sex. I love the world building.
Yep.
The CGI was incredible. It was groundbreaking, the CGI. And obviously people can say what they want about the story and stuff and the acting, but the CGI was groundbreaking.
It looked gorgeous, visually a very rich film, wasn't it? There's so much just filling the screen. But something about it, I enjoyed it at the time, but narratively, I just cannot recall. And I think that speaks to just maybe how bland it was. I don't know.
Yes.
And Rock kind of agrees, saying that Avatar is easily the most forgettable blockbuster since The Wizard of Oz. Yeah.
Oh,
that's a bit harsh.
Wizard of Oz is wonderful, isn't it? But anyway, I know it's the same as what we said. The story.
Yeah. But this is the trailer for Avatar: The Way of Water, the first of 4 sequels. Lots of Avatar sequels.
Well, they announced these sequels a good 2-3 years ago. They announced them
Yeah.
years ago. So my only presumption is they've been working on these back to back. I reckon they've got a good few of these ready to go.
That makes sense. Yeah, it does. Perhaps they've done the majority of the filming, and the time will be on the post production. Like they are very much heavily animated films, aren't they?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at this first trailer. This dropped this week, and this is for Avatar: The Way of Water.
What a boring name.
Water. Okay. I just realised I've got closed captions on. Bear with me. Turn those off.
I mean, again, it does look amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah. So colourful.
I know one thing. Wherever we go, this family is our fortress.
There we go, coming in December, like we say. Again, it just looks a bit bland. I mean,
Shut that screen down, Stu. Shut it down.
shut it down.
Shut it down.
What was I going to say? I was going to say I always liked, and a point I'd forgotten to bring up is I liked like that clash of like the industrial, the human industrial side with like their big kind of like like the aliens type. Exoskeletons, that's the word I was looking for, but and the mixture of like that between that and the natural Navi stuff. I thought that was quite an interesting yes.
An interesting. Well, shoot, there's some stuff in the chat you might want to bring up from Rock and Carl Meyer and Colin Doolan.
Rock says, for me, the big problem these days is in-game cutscenes are as good as cinema graphics. Unless it's hyper-real, it doesn't work for me. Yeah, there is like a kind of a closening of the gap there, isn't there, between video game cutscenes and where these types of very CG-heavy films are at.
Yeah.
Carl says, let's hope they actually have a story this time. Yes. I think that's kind of what we've alluded to.
Yeah. Well, I guess the story last time was that
There's a tree, wasn't there? There's a big tree there to save.
the humans wanted to mine the place where they live for a certain rock or ore, I think, because it could help. From what I recall, it was so long ago because it could power Earth. They wanted to mine the place, and
Right.
I mean it was basically like the equivalent of Native American Indians and cowboys, wasn't it? That was the idea, like them trying to take their land. That's what it was, right? Them
Yeah.
trying to take their land. And Dances with Wolves, Sam Worthington realized that they were good people and they should be able to keep their land, and the humans were the baddies and blah blah blah. So it's just quite a basic story. Your sort of expectation with a sequel with something like this is there's a bigger threat.
Yeah,
And-
bigger, better,
Yeah, and the humans and the Na'vi have to team up. They did team up a bit in the last one with the lovely Michelle Rodriguez, who's one of my favourites, Stu. She unfortunately died in the other film, but they could have brought her back. But there we got no story, did we? And I know I
No.
said I like a trailer where you don't get too much story, but what Rock said there, CGI now is just not enough. It's all like back in the day, it was enough. Now you go, like a CGI. We've seen it all as Rock says, in games, and we've seen it in films. We need to be given more. We need to be given something that draws us in, not watery lines that go, we are the only thing that's our shield is our family. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Nothing about that is giving me vibes of I must go and see this. If anything, I'm more intrigued to go back and watch the first Avatar to see what it was all about. But yeah. Speaking of the first Avatar, Carl Meyer likens it to a rip-off of Fern Gully, but with 100% less Robin Williams. So yeah, not as good a film then.
Well, yeah,
Quite
and
honestly.
the world is 100% less Robin Williams, isn't it?
Indeed.
These days, unfortunately. But yeah, no, that's it. It's just basic story with some CGI is not enough. You need to do something special. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's because it's been a long time since I've seen it. But the special effects didn't look too different from the first
No.
one that came out 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
12, wasn't it? Oh no, I can't remember now.
Probably it was before I met my wife. So it's before I met David Hasselhoff. Which was 8.5 years ago.
Yeah. I think a very dull trailer with a potentially dull name, and no real impetus to go and watch that. To be honest,
Yeah.
I'm not hyped for it at all.